my friends, I'm Frankie and welcome to Club Foodie. As soon as fall is here until late spring, I love making casseroles. They're so comforting, easy to make, and satisfying. In today's episode, I'll show you how to make my version of Chicken Divan. Originally from New York, this dish is incredibly delicious, so let's get cooking. The first step is to look after the broccoli. So in a large pot of boiling water, we'll add the florets and blanch them quickly for only 3 minutes. After a few minutes, we'll remove from the heat and drain the florets well in a colander before setting them aside. Next, in a large skillet over medium-high heat, we'll add 1 tablespoon of butter and some olive oil. When it starts sizzling, working in batches, we'll add our chicken breasts that we've cubed and season generously with ground sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. We'll saute the meat until light golden, about 4 to 5 minutes. When they're done, using a slotted spoon, we'll transfer them to a bowl while cooking the remaining cubes. And let's not forget to season them with salt and pepper. Alright, so we'll now reduce the heat to medium and add the onions. We'll season with salt and saute for 2 minutes. I'm using a non-stick skillet, but if yours is not, this is a good time to scrape the bottom of it to dislodge any brown bits. To this, we'll add the mushroom slices and then add another tablespoon of butter before cracking some black pepper. We'll stir until the butter is all melted before adding the remaining 2 tablespoons of butter. I like adding the butter in 2 steps so the vegetables can absorb some of it. We'll stir until the mushrooms are nicely coated and then cook them for 5 minutes, stirring often. A few minutes later, we'll add pressed garlic and saute for only 1 minute. Next, we'll sprinkle on some flour and stir until the ingredients are coated. I highly suggest to use a non-stick skillet for this recipe because when the flour is in, it sticks a lot. We'll cook for a couple minutes to remove the bitter taste from the flour, stirring constantly. Now, we'll pour in the chicken broth, and if you're not using a non-stick pan, this will help to remove any ingredients stuck at the bottom. We'll stir everything until the texture is smoother before pouring in half and half, adding a little at a time and stirring well between each addition. To this, we'll add some Dijon mustard, which will add a little bit of sharpness. We'll stir to blend and bring the mixture to a simmer. When the sauce starts to thicken and coats the back of the wooden spatula, we'll add sour cream, some cooking sherry, and lemon zest, which will brighten up the sauce. We'll blend the ingredients and then add the cheddar cheese, stirring until melted. The next ingredient is optional, but highly recommended, and it's hot paprika. If you decide to go for it, you'll have to stir once again. We'll return the chicken cubes, including any accumulated juices, and our broccoli florets as well. We'll stir until well incorporated, and then remove from the heat. Boy, that's heavy. We'll transfer the mixture to a 3-quart baking dish lightly greased with cooking spray and level it out with a spatula. Now let's make the topping. In a mixing bowl, we'll add panko breadcrumbs, more cheddar cheese, and some melted butter. We'll stir the ingredients until nicely combined, making sure the breadcrumbs are well coated with the butter. Next, we'll evenly sprinkle the topping over the chicken mixture. This will give such a nice crunch to the dish. When this is done, we'll transfer the baking dish to a 375-degree preheated oven and bake for 23 to 25 minutes or until the top is golden brown. We'll carefully remove from the heat and let it rest for 10 minutes before serving it over egg noodles, which my recipe is coming up next month. So stay tuned. And my friends, this is our Chicken Divan. Easy and incredibly tasty, this mouth-watering recipe is so satisfying and perfect to make during the colder months of the year. This is another casserole that you and your family will love. I hope you give it a try soon, and be sure to visit cookfoodie.com for ingredient amounts, directions, and more info. Until next time, my friends, bon appétit!